Welcome to the Inappropriate Guys with Joe and Tim.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Tim.
You know, we could just use the intro from our prior episodes because it's always the same, and then you wouldn't have to like almost give yourself a stroke every time with your hellos.
I'm amazed I can talk after it.
Yeah, you just like to blow out your voice at the beginning of each episode.
Well, it's why I have a giant jug of water near me.
No, literally, like we could just edit like yesterday's hello and just start after that.
I should record my best hello and just put it in with the show audio.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. And just,
it saved my throat. But what's the fun in that?
You don't think Whitney Houston actually hit that note every time, right? Like they recorded the chorus once and they just looped it the other times,
so
right?
Wait, I want to be the Mariah Carey of hellos?
Yes, you just do it
high
once
notes are just
in 1992.
That one high-pitched whistle and that's
it.
And
they just keep reusing it. She went like, once in 1992 and they just write every song in that key and they put it in. So I don't know if anyone heard giggling in the background.
Nope, nobody heard it.
But
she's not near the mic.
We did bring back Grace Hornblower.
Hello, Grace Hornblower.
Our favorite Hobbit is back.
Oh my God!
Your favorite sweet pea?
Yeah.
Our famous sweat pea. We did,
sweat pea.
I think on the last episode, we really didn't, besides her butt preferences, we really did not get
learn much
about her. So we brought her back.
I think butt preferences is all I need to know about somebody.
I mean, you are the quiz writer.
I think it's very telling about a person.
It is. It really
the
is.
answer is no, by the way, for clarification.
Okay. That wasn't a choice.
Yeah, that wasn't a choice
on the quiz, though, unfortunately. So people listen back. We did a compatibility quiz. And Grace was on that episode, and she's been nice enough to return back for another day now, for just general shenanigans.
General shenanigans.
So Joe, we haven't done a general shenanigans podcast.
I have
in a bit,
lots of general shenanigans,
and apparently the floor is yours.
The floor. Wow, you're opening. I feel like this is a debate now.
Your opening statement, sir.
Yeah. Are your knives sharp? No. I feel like I'm just going to do it.
No, I like to dull my knives before we start podcasting.
Someone doesn't want to kill
for
themselves
the
while
safety
listening.
of our listeners and my wife.
Oh
and,
my God!
Yes. So no, all the knives are dulled right now.
No, I went to my brother's house and oh Jesus. Oh God. Okay, my microphone just committed suicide. Okay, hold on.
I'm so jealous of your mic.
Yeah, my mic was just
nothing says.
Okay, moving on.
Nothing says
topic.
Bombing during a podcast.
Like your mic dropping on its own. Okay, never mind.
If you were any closer to the window, would have jumped out the attic.
I think that's what it was trying to do, was make it towards the window.
Okay, so you went to your brother's house.
No, you know what? That's all that's needed.
I need to know now, Joe.
No, that's it. This is going to be the Home Depot app. It'll get better like 9 episodes later.
You're just going to tease the brother
I'm going to
story?
tease the knives. Okay, so no, I had a real story, which wasn't the brothers thing. I had, because I'm in flight school, you have to have a medical. And you have to have like a complete physical done at a doctor's office. And when you go for your medical,
what do they use like when there's industrial grain scales? How did they get you on?
So I went there and
did you have to lift before they did the turn and cough?
So okay,
or they now get to it without lifting.
I'm getting to that.
Joe used to be fat and now he's not as fat anymore.
Yeah. Okay. So I went to like one of these just anyway, you get to pick which doctor, and there was like a bunch of female doctors at this one place.
They took Joe's blood and they poured it over ice cream.
And I wanted a male doctor.
It was syrup.
Why did you want a male one?
Because I knew that I was actually going to have my balls like touched and whatnot. It's like an actual full blown physical thing.
So you wanted it to be hard.
Yeah.
So you picked a male doctor.
So I picked a male doctor so that I wouldn't have to deal with the awkwardness of like some hot female doctor.
Okay.
And so I get there, sitting in the office, fill out the paperwork. Is there like
an OK Cupid for that?
Yeah, I should have turned on like my area.
The ugliest, oldest,
oh my God,
doctor you can find.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted.
You read like the reviews, like he has like onion breath. You're like, perfect.
Yeah. I picked like some just old, Indian doctor is what I wanted. I wanted that.
That's the least
and so that's what I picked. That's what I picked.
Well, I mean, if you ever look anytime there's those articles on the internet about like some woman with like 19 toes or like the guy has
God.
like a house growing on the side of his head. It's always in India. So an Indian doctor probably is the best way to go because they've definitely seen things weirder than your penis.
Yeah, exactly.
balls.
They've seen everything.
Yeah, no, they like that won't even
they're
faze
also
them.
some of the best doctors, period, because they're just like, that's all they live for. Asians and Indians. Well, I guess those are Asians too. All the Asians, they're great at being doctors. So that's what you want. You want a good Asian doctor.
Are we allowed to say that?
Absolutely. It's the Inappropriate guys.
Positive racial stereotypes.
Half of our show has been filled with Asians lately, so it's all good. It's all safe.
And Joe is a porn star in Japan.
Yeah, and I'm Asian by injection or not injection. I don't know how that works.
Inappropriate, Joe.
So,
anyway,
so
okay.
I went. So I
you
went.
showed your weird penis to an Indian doctor.
Yeah, I picked Sanji, and I was ready to go in. And I get there, and immediately they give me like the fucking hottest nurse in the fucking place.
Ooh.
She's like, like 27 years old,
Is that the
short,
porno music
skinny
I hear
brunette. Yeah.
in the background?
And I'm like, oh no, I see where this is going. And she literally, she starts, going through the paperwork and everything. And I'm like, oh,
Ooh.
please don't let her just sit it on.
I've seen
So
your
then
chart.
she brings me into the room and she sits down with me and I'm like, okay, where's my doctor?
It's
and then
time
finally
to
the doctor
take
comes
the
in and I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, then the doctor's getting to the point where we have to like do the full
Get down to
physical.
business. So he buys you dinner.
And so he literally
opens a bottle of wine, lights a candle,
pops the cork,
lubes up his finger.
and says, okay, so you need to take down your pants. But he says it so straight, like as if this is me asking you, hey, like a bottle of water. Like he says, okay, like ready to take your pants off. And she's literally standing there next to his side,
With her
just
iPhone
waiting,
out?
just waiting. And I
Maybe she wanted to see it, Joe.
yeah,
Looking.
well, that's the
Right?
thing. Like she just sat there, like waiting as if this is expected. Like you should just drop trowel right now.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I mean, this is flight school. It sounds serious.
yeah, but it's not flight
Wait, this
school
is
in the
in the
medical
hangar?
office.
Wait, I missed that part, Grace.
Yeah. This is in the locker room. Yeah, I was in the wrong.
We did that episode a few weeks ago where Joe was really weird about nudity.
Might be a few days ago
Because
depending
we
on-
did an episode and I said it's okay at this age
Oh,
in my
God.
mid-30s to be naked in the shower in the locker room.
Yeah.
And Joe said that would be weird. And I thought it was weird that he thought it was weird. So it's fun now that he's calling back that he's not even comfortable to be naked around a doctor.
No, because she's not a
and some
doctor.
young, hot.
She's not a doctor. She's a nurse. She doesn't get the privilege of touching or seeing my balls.
What?
He does.
Privilege?
Yeah.
I think nurses see your penis and balls.
Yeah,
before
actually, the nurses
doctors
probably do
all
see your
the
balls
time.
all the time. Yeah, but she was too hot to be a safe nurse for me.
But
That was
the hotter
scary.
she was, do you think there's the less interest in your balls?
No,
I mean,
I just
there's got to be
I
some kind of
literally-
inverse scale between the hotness of women and interest in your penis.
I picked
Guys,
what I'm
for
saying.
the record, no straight female has any interest in
in
balls.
anybody's balls.
It is the ugliest thing ever.
It is.
It is. It is the ugliest organ in general.
Yeah.
Like there is nothing uglier than that. Except for a deformed vagina.
I'm glad I only have to look at it like down. Like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine
Yeah,
having.
could you imagine the up view?
No,
Do you-
oh
do
my
you
god,
not-
straight at
Yeah.
Do
you,
you
straight
not
at
have a
you.
full length mirror? Do you not look at your balls in a full length
It's
mirror?
still from an
No,
upper
but it
angle.
still would be an up because it's not. I don't like
Yeah.
like get hard and then stand in front of a full length
Yeah.
mirror. So I don't look
Wait,
at
you
it.
don't? You
I
don't?
No,
Oh.
I don't.
Oh.
No,
Oh.
no, I don't.
Okay.
The wife
No,
is
it's
in the
like-
background.
But
Yeah,
that would probably be the worst angle. It's like so now like not only is it ugly, but imagine like it's looking at you, like staring at
Oh,
you.
God.
Like
That
just
sad
like
face.
desperately like please like and then you have to like put it in you. Like
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
I
don't
can't
know.
imagine. I'm surprised that like the world made it past like the first generation. But it was like
So
okay,
exactly.
like we want human beings to go
Oh my
on.
God.
Okay, what do I need to do? You need to put this inside of you. Okay, so I guess instinction.
Yeah.
I guess going instinct is not such a bad choice.
Well, so I literally I stood. Well, I was sitting at the time, and I sat there and I said,
Oh, you can't sit with it out.
"Well,
That's not
no,
a
I
good
didn't.
look.
No, I didn't. I
No,
just
no,
Spread
you're-
your
I
legs
was
sitting.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
sack like stuck to his thigh.
Just-
No, you definitely don't want to be
Smushed together.
You definitely don't want to be taking it out in front of
Yeah.
a.
No, so
Do they stick to the left or the right?
in between, it was a hot day. No, for all the audience to visualize. No, so she was standing there, and I literally had like a moment of. This is going to be great comedy. Like in my head, I was automatically like, "Oh, this is going to be on the
B,
show."
I'm going to be jerking off to this
Yeah,
later.
yeah. To be up jerking off to her later. No, but I literally just said flat out, "Can I just have the doctor?" And she seemed kind of like upset. that like I wanted her out of the room, like that she was like
well, because
sad.
you're a grown man. I'm sure they looked at your chart. They saw you in the mid-30s. He's like, he's clearly walking around naked at the locker room.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So we might as well just
they
show
clearly
peace to
heard our
everybody.
show and they knew.
Well, if they
knew
did,
it
they would
was-
know you're a little prude boy.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they would have, you know.
No, but the funny thing is that it's the opposite of what we were saying on the show. Is that I wanted the old man to be in front of my balls versus the girl. It's the exact opposite of what I was
that's
complaining about
interesting.
last
But what
time.
did you think that was gonna? What would she have?
I don't know. I didn't want her to just like stick a finger in my butt all of a sudden. Like I don't know
Wait,
what
was
she's
there the
gonna
butt finger
do.
too?
I don't know. No, but I don't know what she's gonna do there. I don't trust a girl that young
Do you
around
need
my
a
penis
prostate
without
exam
like
to get a pilot license?
yeah. Yeah.
You don't trust a girl that young around your penis?
I was waiting for you to catch on to that. I don't know. I was just because something could happen. I could get like aroused or something.
I don't know, Grace.
And then
how weird do you think his penis is?
What do you? What do
It's
you
got to be
think?
so weird.
What do you think of what he'll think of if I get hard while he's around, but it's because of her? Like that's horrible. I don't know.
Well,
It was
Grace,
awkward.
Do you use
It was
male
awkward.
doctors,
It's
Grace?
almost 2020. Huh?
Do you use a male doctor?
Do you have a male gynecologist?
Male and female.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Party.
Tell us more. That music you're hearing.
Depends on the availability.
So do you have a problem when it's
Do
a
you have
male?
a preference?
I prefer another female doctor.
Oh.
Okay, so you're
But-
similar to Joe.
Yeah, see?
Prefer, but I'm not gonna ask a male doctor to leave the office unless he's like creepy.
Now, do you know before you get there if it's going to be the male or the female?
Yes, you
So
do.
will you
do
like
know.
Yeah, see, I was
Will
surprised.
you make special preparations if it's the male?
Yeah.
Like
what
maybe
type
like-
of special
like clean up down there
You
a little?
see? Yeah. And this is touching back on what I was about to say, was that I was not prepared for a female to
Oh.
view me.
So you're
like
saying-
I would have been manscaped. I would have had
I
like
see.
all kinds of preparation. I would have had a little bit of cream. I would have slept better the night before. I would have had all prepped out. If that was the girl, then I would have been like,
You would've
fine.
done a
little
No,
grooming,
I was
highlighting
You with
it.
naturalness.
Exactly.
It's just a moonlighting.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
had.
So
You would have brought like a little fan to like blow up, to waft it
I
up
would
or
have. I
something.
would have brought my own LED lighting kit with it.
It's like, wow,
yeah.
these balls know how to party.
Yeah, like they would have been disco balls
Is that
ready to
lilac
go.
I smell?
Yeah.
Or is that this man's balls?
Yeah, exactly. I would have did a little perfume, a little aqua di
Would've, like,
Giorgio, or-
Lavender, because that's relaxing.
Lavender. Yeah, I don't want to put her to sleep.
Wait, so Grace, is there merit? Is there merit to this? If you
See,
know
that's
you're
what I'm
having the
saying.
male doctor, is there special preparations?
No.
And now I thought Joe was a lunatic, but he's actually right. Or you're the tiebreaker here. I haven't been to a doctor in like 15 years.
I
Grace,
personally
you-
don't do any special preparation.
Oh,
No
but she's
special-
always prepped. That's what she's saying. That's what she said. I read between the lines right there. She's always prepped. That's why. She's prepped no matter what. See, I wasn't. I'm just like, it was the middle of the week. I didn't have anything going on.
It's winter,
I'm
it's cold
studying.
out.
It's cold. I don't care
just
at
gotta-
all.
you just
And so Sanji, whatever his name was,
There's like a Cheeto stuck to the side of it.
yeah,
You don't even know.
like that for me was
You would
like
have understood.
Yeah, well, exactly. He would
Well,
understand.
he's seen everything. He's from
Yeah,
India.
He's also experienced it, hopefully.
Yeah, well, I mean, depending on what we're talking about, but yeah, like that's what it is. So if it was that hot girl, like I would have prepped, and that's my whole point. Is
That's
that
your
I
whole
was not
point.
ready for.
So it's not an
gorgeous
embarrassment
brunette
to
girl.
see the
Yeah.
hot doctor see your penis. It's that you
It's
want
that
to present
if
it.
I would have
Yeah.
gotten
On a silver platter.
I would
Yeah,
have
like put a
worn,
little cape around it or something.
Yeah, I
like,
would have put a little bow, maybe a cock
Yeah.
ring. I would have been.
Maybe
my pants would have just fallen off and been like, "Oh, I'm
he
sorry."
brings like a boom box and hits like the music.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. And his
Yeah.
pants drop and it's just
That's exactly
All of
what
a
it
sudden the
would've
lights hit and it's underlit, so it looks like looks like the Roman columns. Yeah.
So now you understand why I had the issue, and
I
that's
see,
why I
I
wanted
see.
I wanted my mail because I didn't have prep. It was also early in the morning. I wasn't ready for that.
What is your escaping schedule?
Okay, so if we want to go down that road,
I mean, we're on the topic anyway.
He's-
I mean,
seems
we're
like
definitely we have.
Is this too much for the audience?
No,
Judging
this
by
is not
his
enough for the
beard, I
audience.
feel like it grows pretty quick.
We can post
Yeah.
Twitter photos if we need to for
Oh,
the
God.
audience.
You can get my
Whoa,
count
whoa, whoa.
deactivated.
It might be taken down.
Yeah, that's okay. That'll be controversy. That's what we're all about. If you want to see my balls, email
Podcast
us.
host posts pictures of his 5 o'clock shadow
Yeah.
on his balls.
Well, if viewers wanted to follow up on this, how can they contact you guys?
Oh, wow. She's already getting in with the
Oh,
plugs.
she's good at this.
Well, Tim knows our Twitter
Or they
handle.
could email us at angryhatemail.com, which is not a joke
Apparently
email address.
She actually thought it was a
Apparently,
joke.
I thought
Grace
you guys were
thought
kidding.
It was
Oh my
a
God.
running gag, but no, we actually, if you email angryhatemail@gmail.com,
It's actually
it
our
will
email.
actually come to us.
They
Yeah.
will respond,
and we will
guys.
respond, or we will
Send you a
address
dick pic.
We will address
No
you on the
dick
air.
pics.
Oh,
No,
okay.
wait, what about a picture of his pubes?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's
Is that
if it-
technically
if it's
not a dick pic?
pube, like on a piece of
Yeah,
paper.
but what if I don't have
No,
pubes?
it's on him.
If I don't have
It's
pubes,
on him.
I could wait. It's not a dick
Yeah.
pic. It's a photo of the aftermath of landscaping.
landscaping.
Landscaping, same
Well,
thing.
Only provided if someone requests it.
Okay.
Don't give it away for free.
Oh,
that's such a
you
nice
want a
way to say no one
sponsor.
to see your dick.
No, she's trying to
No.
lead into a sponsorship.
No, it was just a really nice
Wait,
way
can
to
we,
say.
Can we get a
dick
premium
pics on-
snap? Can we get a premium snap or a
premium
Patreon?
Snapchat? Yeah.
a Patreon
You
account.
can listen to the podcast free, but if you want to see
If you
Joe's
wanna see
pubes
my
growing
nuts.
in, what we have like a cam set up, like live.
Yeah, a live pube cam.
Yeah, you just watch it grow in. I think it
Oh
grows
my
in quick.
God.
Is that why you
like
asked?
the chia pet? Chia.
Yeah.
No, we can't. It's sponsored. No, we can't sponsor by Chia. Oh, can I have the Inappropriate Guys brand Chia Pet?
It's just your balls.
It's just my balls upside down.
It'd be the perfect stocking stuffer.
Oh my God.
Did we just
this.
spend 10 minutes talking about your balls?
Yeah, we got to go to commercial. Oh my God. All right, we'll be back after this. And we're back.
And we are back.
We're definitely back. Holy
Waiting
crap.
for people to email us pictures of their pubes at angryhatemail@gmail.com.
Because it's not a genital pic.
No, it's not. It's
a
fine.
hair pic.
My wife cleared it during the break.
Yeah. Wait, did I not see this happen?
No, she said it was
I was
fine.
looking down. Oh, I thought she.
I said,
thought
honey,
she
I'm-
took-
Thumbs up.
We're asking
But if you
listeners to
have no
send us
pubes-
pictures, but it's just of their pubes,
Oh my
and then they
God.
said it was fine.
Okay.
So
Pubes.
You've
Nothing
got.
more.
So one of the recurring
Goodness.
themes on this show
Is pubes.
besides
Yeah.
Joe's manscaping schedule, is Joe's prepping.
Prepping for
Oh
what?
no! Why am I?
Joe's been prepping
I'm
for
worried.
the apocalypse for some time now.
my whole life.
At one point, he gave us faulty information about which way the winds would blow.
And
if
caused
there
him
was
to kill
a
his
nuclear,
entire-
and I literally was ready to die and kill my whole family.
Yeah.
Wait, is that when you lost your trash bin?
You lost your trash.
I lost
bin?
my
By
trash.
the wind.
Yeah, that
It
was a
blew
different.
away.
No, that was see. That's what I figured. So yeah, the other day, my recycling bin. I came out of the house at like 6:30 in the morning.
It was stolen?
And there was just garbage everywhere.
Oh.
And I was like, oh man, I can't believe like somebody took this garbage. And I'm like going to pick it up.
Steal your
I'm like,
garbage.
no, it was garbage just everywhere on my driveway in front of the
Oh.
house. And I was like, wow, this garbage looks familiar. And it's like a Downy cider can like
Oh,
blowing
God.
down the street, and I'm
Here's
like,
the sponsorship.
oh shit, it's mine. So I go over to put it into the can, and
Oh,
the,
were you a
and the
trash
can
collector?
is missing. So I literally had to just drive up and down the block until I found my my garbage can. But the point of the Grace, yes, you're correct. That was a west wind that day,
West
and
wind.
Joe assumed that if there was a
westerly
nuclear bomb in Manhattan, it would be like a west wind,
Yeah.
and the fallout would come and kill us here on the South Shore of Long Island.
That's a serious
so
prediction.
we're
there's
planning.
there's an app for that.
Yeah. So anyway, so Joe had a whole plan. He was going to be on a boat blowing a guy.
I'm not
I was
blowing
just
a
gonna
guy.
kill my family because like once like
Tim
Your
gave up.
family?
Yeah,
well,
he
because, like,
killed
they would've
everybody.
died anyway.
Murder
so like it
suicide.
was just better to like basically it was like a mercy killing. Because like it just wasn't worth it to like have
Putting
to like
them down.
escape. So Joe's a prepper now. He's
Now.
brought his go bag with us to him to podcast a few times.
Yeah.
He has like this rape van that he's going to use to like
know.
repopulate the earth
Oh
in.
God.
So anyway, so this is something that Joe needs to
Where are you going with this topic? I'm
well,
having
you
a-
have to
I'm a
add
hun-
something to your prepping because apparently there's a
Uh-oh.
$400 doomsday backpack.
Oh, they're not worth it.
It's
I
the
could give you.
prepper kit for
I
the
could give you-
1%.
I can give you all kinds of reasons why
It
do not
made it
buy
into Oprah's favorite things.
Oh my God!
2019.
Oprah?
if she
really?
likes it, it's legit.
No, if she likes it, it's shit. That's what it is.
It's rhymed.
Yeah, no, no.
The Prepster
Hey,
backpack.
could you imagine Oprah's wait. Oprah's backpack of safety. It would be a book. It would be a candy bar. It would be like a Weight Watchers candy bar, and it would be like a small child to take with you.
I assume
that's an Oprah. That's an Oprah go
I
bag.
assume Oprah's go bag is just like something to summon her helicopter and her private
or
jet. She
that.
buys a space shuttle.
It's just a giant bag
It'll
of
be her
money.
and Elon Musk.
Oprah's go bag is a giant bag of money, because with a giant bag of money, you could buy anybody to do anything.
Well, for the rest of us,
Or
Joe.
she'll give it away like those cars.
You
get 100.
Yeah,
You get
yeah.
100. You get 100.
Yeah, and then everybody takes care of her.
I picture it's more like her flying out on the helicopter, being like, "You have radiation poisoning. You have smallpox."
Yeah, everybody else is dead but her.
So anyway,
I don't believe anything.
The Prepster backpack,
Okay, I'm Googling.
$400. Why don't you let me read it to you, Joe? And you don't have to Google.
No, I like visuals.
It comes loaded with plenty of practical stuff, like 10 servings of drinking water, a whistle, a deluxe first aid kit, a respirator mask, and a 3-day supply of shortbread food bars.
Dude, you know how much all that costs?
According to the parenthetical on the product page, actually tastes great! !
Weight Watchers sponsored.
But to justify the nearly $400 price tag, the
It's made out of
backpack
gold.
also contains luxe comforts, including a toiletry bag from Malin and Getz, an $8 Mast Brothers chocolate bar, $14 Marvis toothpaste
hell?
that's literally sold in museum gift shops,
That's way too
and one of
fancy.
those twee-ass field note notebooks made for Wes Anderson fans and people who are always
That
getting
is
into
ridiculous.
journaling.
That entire kit is probably financially purchased for like $60.
So you're saying I don't need a Malin and Getz moisturizer?
No.
If there is
could you
if
be
there's a
any
nuclear
less?
apocalypse?
That's not a go bag. That's what you take with you to go on a weekend trip.
Yeah,
Well, a lot of-
but don't you want
This
to be
isn't
like
a go. Does
comfortable
Oprah know what a
under
go bag
crisis?
is?
A lot of people say going to Coachella is a lot like a nuclear
Oh
holocaust.
yeah, it is.
So
with that amount of armpit hair on
So,
women, yeah, that is.
maybe
Oh
So that's not the go bag you have, Joe?
No,
You don't
that's
have
not the go bag
Oprah
I
My
have.
Favorite Things go bag.
no.
Okay, I was trying to get
I have iodine pills.
Me and Joe, I try and relate to him. So I see a story about prepping, and I'm like, oh, cool.
We already know what your prep
My
bag is.
$14. Well, no, now that the wind changed, I'm just going to
Single
live it out here.
Frito. Single Frito.
So Joe is heavy.
No, I'm not.
Was heavier. He's still heavier than me.
Everybody's heavier than you.
And everyone comes
Nobody's
over.
not heavier than
So
you.
before we podcast, people are, you get a little hungry. So you're looking at snacks.
God.
And then everyone's laughing at
Tim
the amount
weighs
of snacks we have.
130 pounds wet.
Yes.
It's like a small
He can't
child.
even.
And
Yeah,
here's
he can't
something
even,
that I think the listeners
Yeah.
can relate to, because
Yeah.
growing up,
Oh, God.
we always had opened bags of snacks
Oh my God.
that we would have snacks from and then close and then put away for another day.
Who does that?
And that is what
You're
I
talking
found
to
out
him.
when I grew up, and I found out that was weird, that I didn't know, that was just
You
my
were the
life. Like
only
you
one.
had like Oreos, and you'd open up the sleeve and you'd have like 3 Oreos, then you'd close the sleeve, and like 4 or 5 days later you'd go back and have 3 more Oreos. And apparently everyone in the entire world but my family would just destroy the entire sleeve of Oreos the second they open them.
Now that I think about it, it sounds like your family was like under war times, where you had
They're
to ration
rationed.
out your
You guys
snacks.
rationed everything. See, you were a prepper growing up. You just didn't know it. You were just making things last longer.
Oh, so maybe
Yeah.
I will live, because you eat the entire sleeve of Oreos.
Yeah, and you'll survive off of the calories of 40 Oreos
Yeah.
for a year.
But what's like?
I don't-
So this came up because I was saying like nothing is better than like the fresh Oreo when you first open up the
he said it
sleeve.
singularly, one Oreo.
And then I realized that nobody could relate to my story because they never had them not fresh. That they did not close the sleeve and then put it in Tupperware and then like finish it 3 weeks later.
I also like how you're referring how fresh is something that can be preserved for like 10 years on the shelf.
No, it
like
can't
it's,
be.
Like it's probably like
well.
sitting there for 5 years already by the time you buy it.
Yeah, but-
and
but he
your
only-
version of opening it on year 6, day 1.
But
that's
it
fresh.
still
only
it still
has that one.
It still has that freshness. You know, you open up those chips like they're like a
I don't
fresh.
know.
When you open that bag of Lay's potato chips and you just smell and then you get that like nice.
Why
crisp
is this awkwardly
Fritos.
sexual? For some reason, this is going sexual.
Well, because when you only weigh 130 pounds,
Everything
eating
is,
that first Frito is like basically an
It's
orgasm.
basically just like
then you throw out the rest of the bag
You
because they're
just
useless.
taste all those salt crystals.
he's like,
Yeah, the salt on your
when,
mouth.
when I
is
open
just,
it, it's so fresh and it tastes salty.
So, like if I
Jesus.
brought like a bag of like Lay's potato chips up here right now,
I don't like
like-
potato chips.
Grace, like
I love it.
would you eat the entire bag or would you like some of them like close it and then finish them tomorrow?
Well, we all know that
Depends how
half the
big the
bag is
bag
air
is.
anyway.
We might be able to finish the entire bag.
I wouldn't because I hate them. But
Between us,
between us, meaning you and Tim
As
would
a
have
secret?
the top potato
Yeah,
chip.
I'd have like the perfect top potato chip,
Yeah.
and then I would just get rid of the rest of them.
I think I can. I definitely can.
Yeah.
You-
See, that was not
you
how I
look-
grew up
you look
with.
so
It
horrified.
was always about moderation.
Tim's OCD is like
Because I think people confuse skinny people with like eating healthy,
Deprivation.
but it's just moderation. Is moderation equal-
emaciated. Yeah. I
Is that-
mean, I'm
I
all
eat it in
for.
moderation too. I just binge in moderation.
occasionally
I like
binge.
that. Yeah, I like that.
I'm an
that's a
occasional
good,
binger.
Yeah, but,
Yeah, occasional binger. It averages out. I think we're on the same playing field here.
So you either eat nothing or everything.
Exactly.
I think that's an eating
That's
disorder.
unhealthy.
I'm either 0 or 1,000.
Yeah, that's I think
That's a
bulimia
problem.
or anorexia. What's that? That's something.
That's
Yeah.
That's just bad eating.
I just eat a little bit, always. I just always eat.
Yeah, but Tim is a special breed of human.
Oh, thank you. Compliment accepted.
It's not a
Is that
compliment.
is the show over?
Yeah, no,
email us at angryemail.com.
Tim's a special breed of human.
Follow us at Inappropriate JT.
Because-
thank you, Worth, for the compliments. And we'll end the show now. Thank you.
He does
Can't
things.
hear you, Joe. I'm leaving.
He does things in
Bye.
very specific ways. There is an analness
What?
to Tim's
I did not answer
lifestyle.
yes on that question, Grace.
There's-
Even though
there's-
those were the only
there's-
choices.
yeah, there's definitely an anal thing to your life because you have very rigid, like
Particular.
your time schedules. I once asked you if we were able to do something, and Tim rattled off the top of his head like his daily schedule, and his daily schedule was so
to the
specific
minute.
to the fucking minute.
It was to the
It
minute.
wasn't 20, like it wasn't like, oh, at 6:30 this is going to happen. It was like at 6:25 I have to be here, and I was like, 25? And he was like, yeah, because it's going to take me 3 minutes to get here through the door, and then this is another thing. By the time I get my keys off and up the stairs, it's this. And I'm like, who thinks like that?
I have accurately guesstimated times for arrival.
You're in the wrong line of work.
for like years. I remember going to the Mets game once on a date at 16 years old, and I
You used to
said
time out.
I would drop my date off at her parents' house at 6:50, and we literally pulled up in front of the house at 6:50.
I'm sure she was very happy. I'm
I think
sure
we
she
broke up
was
that day.
Yeah, I'm sure she was
Yeah, that was it.
ecstatic.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a sign of not wanting
Let's
to
just
be
say
with the
the
girl.
doctor would not have wanted to look at her vagina that day because it was dry as a bone. There
Yeah.
was no way he was going to be
There
able
was-
to. Yeah, no, there's nothing less sexy than punctuality.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're supposed to bring him late, Tim.
Yeah, no, it was exactly on time.
Yeah.
Don't worry about us.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
time's-
don't-
What time's curfew? 9:53. We'll be there exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no.
9:52 and 53
Yeah,
seconds.
I
the
bet she
keys
felt
going off.
rejected. I bet she felt super
Of course
rejected.
she did.
Why?
Who
'Cause-
brings
Like,
the girl?
oh, you don't want to try and be a little late with me?
Yeah, well, Tim's also not the rough and tough guy.
Oh.
Whoa. I said no, but I wouldn't be
You're the-
offended by the S&M.
You're the gentle, punctual guy.
Yeah, he's a gentle, punctual guy.
Very
I don't know.
There
Yeah.
were people who were only
the
allowed
the
out because
punctual
I was
anal guy.
going. When we were growing up, there were people who were like, I'm going to go out. They're like, well, who's going there? They're like, oh, John and Joe and Harrison and Tim. Oh, Tim's going to be there. You can go. Just what time to be home? Don't worry. If Tim's there, that's fine.
No,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know how
well,
many people got laid by
Because
girls
of you?
who were only allowed out because I was there? You should be
that's
thanking
very
me.
that's very
You
strange.
should be thanking me and my punctuality. My punctuality got you laid.
No, it didn't. I was getting laid before I ever knew you.
Well,
But that's true. But yeah,
Thank you.
I
Another compliment. She said yes.
I say this. I say Tim is a particular breed of human who is very A, yes, punctual, but B, you like things in a very particular way.
I don't know how this is a bit. This just sounds like life.
No,
is anyone laughing?
It's a
at
bit
this?
for everybody else. It's a bit for people in the room. Like I don't
This
understand.
is bombing with me right now. I don't understand how this is funny. It's like yes, and yes.
How do you like come up with this? Like, what's the thought process? Is there like a rush to death? I'm trying to figure out why you plan so.
It's not
particularly.
planning. I'm just very good at estimating.
Yeah, but with that comes the plan. It's like it's to the point where it seems like it's because you have to do something and you want to squeeze it in. But is it that, or is it just the way it is? Like if you only had two things to do in the day.
I think he wants to know if there's any childhood trauma behind all this.
Yeah. Were you like?
I think
forced?
at one point.
Were you picked up late all the time?
Yeah. Were you left at bus stops? Were you
Little Timmy at the bus stop?
Did you ask strangers for
Should have
quarters?
left at 2:47. Why did you wait till 2:50? I was at the bus stop all by myself.
Yeah, you were traumatized because you were 1 minute. Someone was 1 minute late to your birthday party,
thought they were gonna
and that
come.
was it.
The birthday party started at 2 o'clock, and they. That's interesting because I am always the first person at parties.
People, wow,
People,
more
yeah.
than one
Oh,
of you.
trust me, there's more than one in there.
But I feel like that's like politeness. Like if you're throwing a party and like you say 2 o'clock, like you don't want to sit there at 2:30. Like like the
They're
food
coming.
is warm.
They're coming.
Yeah, like like the drinks are on ice, and then it's like it's 2 o'clock, and then it's like 2:30.
You
No
do
one came.
realize that like
Someone
at
needs
a
to be the
party,
first person.
at a party, it's the best to actually be like 5 to 10 minutes late.
In America.
Well, yeah.
In America.
But someone needs to be the first person there, and why not me?
And why not you? Well, I know why. It's because you want fresh first dibs on that Frito.
Oh yes, I do.
You want that snack. You want that fresh, untainted,
I need to have that
untainted top snack.
I need to open the bag of potato chips so I can take the top potato chip out and then discard the
You
rest.
used to eat all of my Tostitos, though.
Only when they were fresh, though.
Yeah, you would open up a fresh bag of Tostitos
Yeah, I did.
every time.
But no, that's
my God.
I feel
it all
like
makes sense now. It's all about the Tostito.
part of it. It's all about
This
that
all
getting that
comes
first
back.
Tostito.
No, I like
No,
where
I think-
Grace went with this, though. I think Grace hits the
I
nail.
think part of it is
right on the head.
I think part of it is the fun. It's like a hobby almost. Like okay. So
Wow.
wait. So have you ever like taken something and
Man,
like put it in a trunk?
Amy's got
Hold on.
such a great
Hold on.
like.
Have you ever put something in the trunk of a car that
No.
fit by like inches?
No.
There's a dead body or two.
No,
I don't drive.
Joe. Have you ever
I've
fit like
Okay,
a,
so
fit
yes.
a couch up a stairs and I like barely made it? So like that's really awesome. When
I
you're
have
like,
Tetris
when you're
brain.
like this is going to fit.
I have Tetris brain.
So
I can pack a vehicle because part of my
Okay.
job with the amount of equipment.
So
I get that, but I
it's
don't
the-
get
You
that
like
for the rest
the
of my life.
rush
No,
of
I'm saying
being
yes.
right on time.
I think that's the similarness. The same way that I like looking.
Do you get
and
like a high?
Oh, like I have a Ford Focus. I like looking and like I can fit this in my Ford Focus. I think I
He likes
like
the challenge.
like the estimation of like I can show up at exactly this
You
time.
know what you should have been? You should have been an air traffic controller.
Oh, I
You would
would
have been a fucking
I've said it-
phenomenal air
I've
traffic
said it
controller.
1,000 times. I should be in logistics.
You should be ATC.
I should just quit
you
my
should
real
go,
job podcasting.
You should go
And just be,
to fucking Brussels or you should go to Atlanta and be an ATC
Or like
at the
Jackson,
busiest.
Hartsville or
Yeah,
something?
and be the busiest. You would land more planes than anybody else.
Yeah, no, I would be amazing at that. They'd be like, "Oh, like there's wind over St. Louis." I'm like, "Cancel the plane." They're like, yeah.
No, you would just
Everyone's
fit
flying
everybody
in. From Tampa.
in.
No, I agree with you. That's,
They wouldn't be able to understand you over the mic, but you would have the most.
What do you say?
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
most
You
deaths,
say Iceland
but the
Air
most
or,
landings at all at the
yeah.
same time.
When it's ice in his,
yeah,
I don't know.
Oh God.
That's true. No, I don't.
So
I don't.
Is it a high? Like, is it like a buzz? It's got to be a buzz.
I don't know if it's a high or a buzz.
Give
It's
you
just,
a chubby? Like, what does
No,
it do?
it definitely does not give me a chubby.
Oh, okay.
There's no sexual gratification.
Not
from
like
being
when I'm
exactly
going to the
on
doctor
time.
and it's the nurse.
I think
and
it's
she's hot.
just something that it's just a skill.
It's just a skill.
that I'm very good at estimating
Overusing.
time.
See, I kind of get that, but
Thank you.
I do.
Agree again. Show
But
over.
He only-
Email us
he
at
only
inappropriateguys@gmail.com.
See, he only hears what he wants to hear too.
I kind of get you.
Yeah.
I'm
But
special
see,
and everyone agrees with me.
I'm just
Thank you.
positive about making it somewhere on time, but I'm always late. So if it takes,
That's a skill in
if it's
itself.
supposed to take 15 minutes, I'll be like, I can get there in 10. But you're like, I can get there in 15 minutes, and you actually make it in 15
Well, like
minutes.
so
the key is turning
but
off
it's
at
also
14 and a half
places.
minutes.
It's also places that I've gone a million times. So like I don't know. Like I know all the lights.
When is
That
the last
sounds
time?
creepy.
When is the last time you were late to something?
Well, with my wife,
That's-
very often.
oh, sure. Blame
okay.
it on the wife.
Oh, okay.
So we went to do the Downey Cider sponsor us.
Jesus Christ.
Tour
It's
in
Downey
Boston,
Cider.
and we had to be there. I think at 2:00, and the tour starts. And if you're not there when the tour starts, and I was literally going like 95 mile per hour down the Massachusetts Turnpike to make it there. But I hadn't
Allegedly.
been to this. I'd been to Boston, but I hadn't been to this part of Boston, which was like down near the airport. So I actually had
hard
no
area to
idea how
drive.
long we would get there. But had I been there before, I would have been able to drive comfortably. It's more just like if I've been there, I know how long it takes me
Hold
to
on.
get
So how
there.
did that
Hold
make you
on.
feel?
Wait, at this time, your wife is very pregnant.
Oh my God.
But
Well, she didn't have any cider.
You decided you wanted to make
Drive.
sure you're there on time, so
You
you drove
will
95
kill-
miles
you will
per
kill your
hour.
wife to get there on
you,
time.
Exactly. You care more about being punctual than your future baby.
Have you driven down the Mass Pike? They're all going 95.
Oh my
Oh
God.
man,
Yeah,
Fine.
you see
I have
this,
a focus.
This goes,
We'd be safe.
I see your priorities now.
I just roll right under the car in front of us. They wouldn't even. You can't even hit them. Yeah, no. As long as there's
This is
like
what I'm
a
getting at.
Camry or higher, I can just drive right under them. You can't even.
Oh my God.
I'm just teasing.
I don't see what
No,
you guys are.
I'm not.
I don't see the problem
I'm
here.
genuinely fascinated here.
I'm teasing.
I'm perplexed by your fascination.
I am afraid and like morbidly curious.
I drove to the same school for college and law school. So I drove for 7 years. So I literally can tell you how
can
long
tell
it
you
takes
the
to
license
get
plate
there
numbers of every
based
car.
on what time of the day you're leaving.
Oh, okay.
Because I did it for 7 years. The same roads, the same time every day. So I know like if I left at 7 o'clock, it would take me 40 minutes. If I left at 7:15,
You
it
saw
would
the
take
same
me an
Hyundai
hour and a
Elantra
minute.
next to
how
him.
much time do you give yourself before a flight? How early do you get to the airport?
I would personally, I would give it like the minimum time possible. Like I'm not
Really?
one of those 3.5 hour people
Oh,
because
I
we also
didn't
have
expect
TSA
that
pre-check.
weird.
Yeah, no, because that's what I'm saying.
That's scary.
By being so good at time, you don't waste the time. So like I would actually say because I have TSA pre-check, if
Oh
I'm
my
not
God.
checking bags, like I would be comfortable.
But that means you don't
Getting
have
to the
you don't have
gate
buffer
when-
room. So if there's a car accident that shuts down the
I
entire
don't
highway,
believe in
you're
buffer
screwed.
room. Nope. Nope. No buffer
Interesting.
Just precision via Google.
Precision.
room. Yes, just straight precision.
See, I
don't-
leave buffer room because I've been screwed by being on time.
You're wasting half your life, Joe.
Yeah, but
You're
if
just
I'm
wasting
on
your life.
if I'm on
Not
time,
me. I'm living every moment
Think
to the
of all
fullest.
the other things you can be doing.
when
Joe.
you're on time, you're late. That's the motto in my industry. So I'm always trying to plan for early. And what I was going to catch a flight from Atlanta back up to New York, and I left with a perfect amount of time. It was like 3 in the frickin' morning. Who the hell's going to be on the road at 3 in the morning? Had plenty of time to get to the airport, do everything I needed to do. I got to that road right before the airport, and there was a death on the highway, and they shut the entire highway down. I was parked on the highway for a half hour while they cleared that scene, and I missed my flight because I was on time.
But here's the thing: if you had left even a half hour earlier, the road would still have been closed.
Yeah, but I would have
Because
passed that. It happened during the process. It wasn't like I turned on the GPS and it was like, oh, you're going to be late. I was literally there, and it happened en route.
I don't know, something like that. I feel like you're gonna miss it. It's out of your hands. I don't know.
You're both
And you
very
know what? Listen,
crass about it, and like there's a very weird double standard you're holding to yourself right now. I'm trying to figure out what neuroses I can like lump this into here. Like, what is your diagnosis? What's the prognosis
but I
here?
think that would be something that like if I'm leaving,
We should do a personality
if
test.
I was leaving at 5:15 in the morning.
We got to do a personality
Like I
test.
wouldn't give myself a buffer. If I'm leaving at 7 in the morning, I'm giving myself a buffer. But the thing is, like my buffer is pretty accurate. So like when I give myself a 45-minute buffer, I usually use like 43 minutes of it.
But you said that
Do
you're
you work
always
for
late
Google
with your
Maps?
What?
Do you work for Google Maps?
I should.
I feel
It's
like you're wired for
it's just,
it.
it's
Air
just my
traffic
brain.
control.
You're like a traffic predictor.
No, I'm saying, but like that's the thing too. Like I'm very good at estimating, like even the buffer. Like okay, like I need to like there could be traffic. So I'm going to give it like 45 minutes. And there's like always 45 minutes track. So I still end up exactly on time if I give it no buffer or if I give it a buffer, because I'm very good at giving buffer. I don't understand why this is a bit. This is just...
because everybody else is fascinated now.
I don't see. This is just how everyone should live their life.
Tim is sitting there like, why is everybody just...
I'll never forget the first time there was like a group project and everyone's like sitting around. And like,
I was never in class with you, but that would be hilarious.
I didn't say anything
I was in
for a
class
while.
I was in
and like
class.
everyone's like giving their ideas and they're like throwing it around and they're like perplexed and like probably after like 15 minutes of these people just speaking, I'm like, well, what if we do this? And like it was just something that was like just obvious to me. I was just like sitting there politely for 5 minutes.
Tim had a bullet
and
point.
Everyone looked at me like, oh my God. Well, that's a great
boy genius.
And I was just like, oh, like I didn't realize I thought differently than other people. And I guess that's the thing is that like, so like when you're saying this, like,
so
why do you show up to things exactly on time? It's like, because why wouldn't you?
Do you have a middle name, Tim? Do you have a middle name?
I don't give it out on the air.
No, I'm not saying, I'm just asking if you have a middle name.
I do have a middle name.
Okay, that explains a lot. You're one of those serial killers.
I'm a serial killer? Conspiracy theory?
You're one of those. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which Netflix
Joe's surrounded
Making
by
Murder
unread
special.
copies of Catcher in the Rye right now. I purchase Catcher in the Rye whenever I see it, and I just leave it in my attic. So yeah,
apparently you buy wedding stuff and leave it in your attic.
Joe's just gonna.
Oh man, we're way over time, and it was absolutely worth it.
Was it worth it? I don't see how anyone's going to find this in
I think
no, hey, someone might relate to you.
Okay, so if
write
you
in,
also
write in if you
get
relate.
into Somewhere Everywhere on Time, you can email us at angryhatemail@gmail.com.
Which is real.
And when this episode is posted, I will be posting a quiz /poll on Twitter, Inappropriate JT. And I will be asking what is the appropriate time to show up to something.
Oh, gee.
And there'll be 4 choices.
It's all on time.
And one of them will be exactly on time. And we'll see if there's any other votes besides me for exactly on time. So look forward to that. Inappropriate JT on Twitter, angryhatemail@gmail.com. Grace, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sorry you had to listen to this just normal conversation about how people show up to things
exactly
on time as they should.
My God.
Thank you. It's actually weird we went over.